All right, so I'm going to get right into this little episode that I'm going to have today because I've got something I want to say, but I really don't want to drag this out too long. I got to thinking about something the other day. What if I was running for the next president of the United States? Let's say that tomorrow you tune on your TV and you see my stupid face behind a camera, behind a podium, announcing my candidacy to run for president or whatever. And just let's just say, for all intents and purposes, that I went independent. Let's say I didn't belong to Democrat or Republican, but let's say that I actually had a chance of actually going and being president as an independent, and I made it all the way to the final debate. There's a final debate. It's just a month or two before elections in 2032 or 34, whatever it's going to be for the next election. Not this next election, but you know what I'm saying, years apart from now. And I got up there. I've did my campaigning. Everybody knows me or has seen me or at least heard of me. People are skeptic. They're not sure what to think, whether they want to vote for me or one of the other people. And I don't think I'd win it. Honestly, which I mean, let's all be real here. You're not going to see me running for president anytime ever. But let's just say, for this message, that happens. I get up there and I'm on stage, and I've done talk to my manager and people and my staff and people that's working for me on this stuff, and I look at them and I tell them I want to tell each and every single one of you how much I love you and I appreciate you, but I don't think we're going to win this thing. And immediately what's going to follow by that is everybody's going to be reassuring you, oh, you can't give up now. What kind of talk is that? All this work we've been doing, how can you say that? And I just look at them and say, because I'm fixing to go out here, and regardless what this person asks me, I'm fixing to tell America something that I don't think they want to hear. I think I'm honestly going to do the stupid thing and tell people what they don't want to hear. And everybody's going to be rushing to me saying, no, you need to stick by the cards. You need to stick by what we talked about. You need to pay attention when they read you the question, whatever. Just give them a quick, easy line. Or, we can win this thing. We can take it home. And I'm going to say, no, I'm not worried about that anymore. Because there's too much that's going on now that's been going on since as far as I can remember. And just for the time that I have on stage, that they give me the mic, I just really personally want to talk to Americans. And we go out on stage, and I see the other guys or ladies, whoever it would be, and I shake their hands, and we get started, and the person sitting behind the thing starts reading the questions and talking about different things, and we answer a few questions and do stuff. And let's say it's a pretty good debate. Might have been a word or two said, but they get to the closing remarks and the closing statements, and here's where I ultimately seal my fate. They get through with the other two, and then they come to me. They let me finish it last. And I look, and I, as sincere as possible, I remind America that I grew up here. That I was born in Louisiana, later on moved to Mississippi. I have gotten to work great public jobs in my life, dealt with the public for many years. I've seen the problems. I've always had issues and things I wanted to get done. And then I actually stepped into that line of work, and then I realized how much harder and tougher things actually were than what I thought. And I want to tell America that if you want change, it starts with you. It doesn't start with me. It doesn't start with who you're going to elect as president. Is there power and is there things that can be done? Yes, absolutely. That's why you have a voting system, and that's why we elect leaders to lead, to take care of things for us. I have a problem with managers working at these companies all throughout the pandemic, before the pandemic, even now, who have people call in left and right, and next thing you know, they're working 60 to 80 hour weeks, and they're only getting paid for 40. They get no incentive. They get no reward. They don't even get paid what the other person would have got paid when they come in. And the company takes that money and sticks it in their pocket. And you wonder why your managers have such a chip on their shoulder, and they have something to say about how the business is run. Yet they're always at work. They're always cracking as much a smile as possible, dealing with what they got going on at the house. America's got a lot of good, great people in it. And most of these people that I've come to know in my life are good, hard-working, blue-collar people. And we need to get back to the hard-working America that I always heard about, that was talked about in generations before me, that I never really have seen. Because ever since I've been growing up, I've always heard the phrase, work smarter, not harder. When deep down I was taught that you should be trying to do both in anything that you do. You should be working smarter. You should be trying to think of ways to make things run easier, simpler, and better. But at the same time, don't be afraid to get your hands dirty, to roll up your sleeves, and to work. That nothing in this world is going to be just given to you. That you shouldn't pet the sweaty things, but also shouldn't sweat the petty things. We got to start idolizing people who do make a change in the world that we depend on. We've got to quit trying to cover up things with a Band-Aid. America is the world's worst at covering up problems with a Band-Aid. Something happens in our country, and for at least a month or two, we talk about it, it's shared, we have an issue, we're immediately split down the middle on what to do. And so what do? We try to meet halfway in the middle, not even trying to appease or please anyone, and we just bandage it up and say, okay, that's it, what's on to the next thing? We're not taking care of things. We're not taking care of our veterans. We're not taking care of the homeless situation. We're not trying to put people in jobs. We're not telling people that they can make a difference. We're telling them that life is unfair, the system is rigged, and which I partially do agree with that. But if you don't like it, you can make a change in the world. But you got to roll up your sleeves to do it. And you got to dive in with people who you thought you normally wouldn't have got along with. You've got to learn to sit in a room with people who have criticisms, who don't agree with you, who don't always approve of what you're talking about, so that you can sit around and discuss things. You've got to be able to get out of your circle. And it starts with you, America. It starts with you. It starts with the person that's watching me on this TV. That's listening to me on the radio, on YouTube, whatever it is you're seeing me on. It starts with you. When you go down the road and you roll your window down and you throw trash outside of your car, but then you walk around wondering why the streets are littered with so much. It starts there. It starts with the person who spends so much time on their phone doing the same thing they do every single day, when they could be making such an impact in this world. And nobody wants to make a difference anymore. But yet we look around and wonder what's wrong with the world. What's wrong with the world partially is because of you. You're nasty, you're mean, you're rude. You live in one routine, and if anybody disrupts you for more than 2 seconds of that routine, you immediately hate them. You get mad and aggravated standing in a line that you chose to stand in. You get mad because you have no money, but you keep buying crap you don't need. It starts with you, America. It doesn't start at the White House. It doesn't start with Washington. I believe that we should be held accountable for what we do, without a doubt. But I'm not going to sit up here and make you promises like you've been told your whole life. Vote for me and things will be better. Vote for me and we're going to get this done. Vote for me and we're going to have... I need your help. I need you to pick up the pace. I need you to help me. I need you to get a better sense of your life and who you're living around and want to work with your neighbors and me. And to understand that America has always been a melting pot of very many different cultures, not just one. That America is great. It can be great. But we have got to stop patching up things with Band-Aids and acting like stuff never happened. And we've got to not only acknowledge that it happened, but we got to get over it and move on to the next problem. We are still fighting and having the same stupid discussions that we've had for 50, 60, 70 years. We can't get out of this stuff. We can't move on because you don't want to. You want to argue. You want to fight. You want there to be drama. You watch the same stupid crap on TV every time. But you can make a difference. It starts with you. You can be the change that you want to see. And I would love nothing more than to be your leader and to help us get there. And that's how I would close a debate. I probably went way over my time right there. Don't get me wrong. I'm pretty sure that I'd have yellow lights and people tell me that's enough because they're only given so much time on stage. But that's what I would close out with. I yearn, I truly, honestly yearn for there to be a presidential debate. And the next day, everybody goes to work. And it's just conversation that people have at work. What'd you think of the debate last night? Well, I can tell you one thing. I ain't voting for this one. Oh, yeah, well, I'm not voting for this one. You're immediately fighting and arguing and this and that. I yearn for there to be a debate that people go to work the next day and they scratch their head and they sit there like, I don't know, to be honest with you. I kind of like what they all said. I kind of agree with this one on this and this one on that. And I don't know. That's what I would say if I was running for president. It starts with you, America. Get your shit together. That would be my campaign slogan. I love you guys as always. I'll see you in the next video.